Hey guys, it's good to see all of you. Your cameras are on, so I can see you. Please go put some pants on. I would love that. Well, seriously, it's just awesome to see you guys. It's been such a privilege to serve you guys this year, so I just want to say thanks for the opportunity you've given me. It's been probably the best year of my life, on par with when you're a baby and everyone just tells you how cute you are and you throw up everywhere and you can do whatever you want. Like those 2 years have been on par for the best year of my life. So I just wanted to say thanks for the opportunity you guys have given me. It's been a blessing to serve you this year. Everything that's happened, whether good or bad, has been just an awesome time to grow with you guys. So even though things are up in the air, things are uncertain, we don't know what's going to happen, I just wanted to remind everyone that things are not uncertain to the Lord. This is His sovereign plan, and He will guide us and protect us through it all in a way that glorifies Him. So I just wanted to comfort you guys with that. Even though we didn't get to finish our year out, we didn't get, the Monties. We didn't get to watch She Loves Me. We didn't get a final brunch. Our profs are all online now. Our seniors aren't walking across the stage next Friday. There's a lot of things that we didn't get to do. We didn't get to walk into the gym for chapel this morning. And we're all spread out across the world. But even though all of those things happened, we still wanted to celebrate this year and the year that we did get to have. So on behalf of ASB, chapel team, and student life, we just wanted to say thank you for being with us, and sit back and enjoy.
This is Yesterday Tonight Live. Now, your host, Josh McDonald.
Good evening, all you mighty Mustangs and Mares, and welcome to the Yesterday Tonight live show. A special welcome to all the families of any students that are with us tonight. Listen, we know you're busy on Friday nights, but we're so glad you took some time to spend this evening with us, and we're glad you could be here this week. And honestly, what a week it's been. Our team has worked really hard, nonstop, writing, weeping, just to produce the show for you guys. So we're really hoping that you can just sit back and relax and enjoy it. Honestly, I'm looking around at some of the faces in this room, and you can tell that they're running strictly off of caffeine. Which, by the way, brings me to our first topic. Our beloved Trophy Coffee still remains open, despite faculty and staff and students all being gone. However, the baristas do inform us that even with campus being closed, seating in Trophy is still impossible to find. We have been trying to convince them maybe a delivery service that would bring their coffee fix to whichever student across the campus would need it. Unfortunately, we've been told that even if that was possible, that unfortunately they wouldn't be doing it out of state. But hey, it's been a great year for Trophy. And honestly, it's been an eventful year all around. We witnessed an impeachment. The U.S. nearly went to war with Iran, and if that wasn't exciting enough, the campus nearly burned down twice. But on top of all of that, men's got a masters volleyball team. Not that that matters now. But that does remind me, our special athletics department has some exciting news. They've been working really hard to develop a plan to adapt sports to a socially distanced model. Through a recent contract negotiation with Nintendo, the baseball team will be able to continue their season virtually through a Wii Sports tournament. With remotes for bats and couches for dugouts, our boys will still be able to fight for the division title, so long as their internet doesn't give out. But of course, nothing has changed for some of these teams. I mean, with all the restrictions, the golf team has barely even noticed a national lockdown. But the athletics department isn't the only one that's having to adapt to a bunch of different changes. Apparently, the IT service desk has been crashing repeatedly with all the flooding requests from this transition from on-campus to online. Some of them include, how do I connect my Wi-Fi? Help, I'm on a Zoom call and my mic won't unmute. But my personal favorite is right here. Will my professor notice if I'm running Netflix in the background? You know who you are. Man, the music department is also struggling to adjust to this new normal. However, students are enjoying the newly released digital practice rooms. This allows the students to digitally log their practice hours and finally prove once and for all music majors do in fact live there. But hey, enough about this whole Corona stuff. If you can't remember anything that happened before March, remember that Masters was in the process of looking for a new president. With John MacArthur making his transition into chancellor and John Stead finishing up his time as our interim president, a team of experts set out to find and appoint a newly elected leader. Well, in a surprising turn of events, Sam Horn was chosen to elected as our president. Oddly enough, Sam Horn ended up beating out a long list of Johns. These Johns include, but are not limited to, John Travolta, John Cena, John Krasinski, John Mulaney, and of course, John Williams. But in all seriousness, no, we are excited to have Sam Horn with us, and we hope that he feels right at home here. But hey, what's an opening monologue without roasting a couple different parts of Chapel Band? So here's a couple jokes that I prepared for you guys, and I hope you enjoy them. Starting at... Guys, am I still on? Did y'all get any of that? Whatever. In other news, Chapel Band has been scrambling to put together an album to encourage people during this quarantine season. The album will be sensitive to our new normal and will include tracks such as Give Us Clean Hands, More Than Words, How Can It Be, and for those of you who aren't obeying the social distancing guidelines, Reckless Love. Anyway, my time's about up here. We've got the wonderful and talented Maddie Smith with us. And we'll be right back with more Yesterday Tonight Live after this.
Are you tired of baking sourdough in your kitchen? Do you need an afternoon pick-me-up? Had enough whipped coffee and ready to go back to a vanilla latte? Well, look no further. Student favorite The Trough is now offering delivery on all your favorite items. Available for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night, The Trough has exactly what you're hungry for when you're hungry for it. And now, with our new delivery service, The Trough is more accessible than ever. Our delivery riders have the finest Mustangs available in the canyon. Chicken and fries have never tasted better. Delivery only available in a 0.006-mile radius from campus. Get your Trough today.
Perfect. Thank you. Looks like my Trough order just finally came in.
Oh, what'd you get?
I ordered chicken and fries, and it looks like they gave me sweet potato fries instead. But hey, at least they're consistent. Well, I will be eating that later. You know, this does remind me, small businesses all across the area are having to struggle to figure out some new ways to adapt to the social distancing guidelines. As I was walking in this morning, I did notice a couple of our favorite spots around campus adapting to these measures. I think my favorite one is as I was driving down Lyons, someone in front of Maria's Deli was standing outside launching subs into car windows. Isn't that crazy?
That's what I call no contact delivery.
Oh boy. Well, Egg Plantation has also been suffering due to some new changes, especially without its group of Swayze girls. But I've heard they've also been adapting. They're now providing free, for girls only, backgrounds, so you can still get that overpriced artsy Instagram pic.
Since when can Swayze girls afford Egg Plantation?
Oh, they can. That's why they have Bible major boyfriends. Whew, for those who can only study sipping a $7 latte, and still don't know how to brew their own, coffee shops all around the valley are partnering with groups like Amazon to maybe make a way to deliver coffee to students wherever they may be. Delivery is all within 1 hour.
Huh, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
How's Denny's doing?
Actually, Maddie, I'm glad you asked. Guys, the truth is Denny's is struggling. Without students desperately trying to finish their papers at 6 a.m. every night in the Denny's booths, unfortunately, Denny's is going under some pretty hard times and trying really hard to stay afloat. Anyways, speaking of people with absolutely nothing to do, the cabinet and I have been able to meet via Zoom with Brett Zamros, and honestly, it's been a pretty wild time, I tell you what. The other day, I did manage to record a little bit for you guys. I wanted to show you what's going on, so let's take a look.
Okay, guys. Well, you know, we've got year-end show coming up right around the corner next Friday, 5 o'clock, May 1st, but we don't have a name yet. So what are we going to call this thing? We can't just call it year-end show. What ideas do you guys have?
I think Yanti's, it tells the audience exactly what we're going for. There's no questions left. It's year-end show, Monty's, Yanti's. It's combined. It's one word.
It's simple. It's beautiful.
It's right at you. Yeah, exactly. And it's...
What do you guys?
It's just, yeah. Okay, so like I was saying, it's just like right at you. It's good. It's one word. It's quick. It's snappy. I love it.
What if you called it end year show instead of year
Oh,
show?
so you take the year in the end and you flip them.
Yeah.
And it's the end year show.
The end.
Or,
That's no.
listen here now, show to end the year. I think it goes sad intro monologue by, of course, me. I'll get everyone crying. I'll get people to feel, oh, I haven't seen anyone in so long. I haven't seen Mauricio's mustache in so long. I miss him. I miss that. And then maybe Josh can come in as well. Can you hear me? Are you good, Brett? You can hear me? I'm thinking like this, like it's a horse. It's a horse body, but it also the word Yankees.
I like it.
See what I'm going for here? I think it works a lot. I know that I'm biased because I did it, but I still think it's the best option because I did it.
I can hear very well.
Oh, Brett, you.
Yeah, I like that one. And
If there's not that great, we can meet later.
Yeah, we're excited. I think it's gonna go really well.
yeah.
Really well.
Yeah.
God, don't bite me.
Did he just bite him? Is Brett okay?
Oh, yeah, don't worry about Brett. All his kids are vaccinated, and honestly, these meetings usually turn into a little bit of a babysitting situation anyway, so.
For who? For Brett's kids or for Mauricio?
Listen, Maddie, you said it, not me. But both, to be honest.
Does he always talk that much in meetings?
I mean, yes, but it has occasionally gotten worse. Poor Mauricio. I mean, without all of his friends to be here and listen to his crazy ideas, and man, I don't know. I think people are just used to putting up with it, but it's definitely gotten a little worse since the quarantine started.
Okay, so whose bright idea was it to put him in charge of announcements in chapel?
Yeah, well, you see, at the time, pickings were rather slim, and honestly, we didn't really want to have a repeat of last year, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, Adam Ashoff. Well, when you put it into perspective, I guess Mauricio isn't that bad after all. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what do you guys even do in these meetings?
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, a lot of the meetings are just us catching up. We talk about events that have happened. We discuss what's coming up around campus. And every now and again, we help formulate what Stu's going to send out to the students each week.
Oh, yeah. Stu. What's that guy's deal anyways? What's up with him?
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, like, what's he like? His messages sound so manly.
Maddie, you know that Stu's just a robot, right? It's just Brett sending out automated messages?
What?
Yeah, it's just Brett.
Brett's been ghosting me?
Maddie, have you actually been talking back to Stu?
Listen, Josh, a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do, okay? Just don't judge me.
Well, it seems as good a time as ever to go ahead and cut to a commercial break. We'll give Maddie some time to process this new revelation. So we'll be right back after this.
Looking for more entertainment after this? Check out some of our newly released, socially distant, and quarantine correct content like The Lady in the Window. She was a woman. He was a man. Will they be able to make it work despite the social distance that keeps them apart? Wishing for the days when you could go to the beach? Then try Hotchler in Paradise, Quarantine Edition. 8 girls compete for the heart of one man. Who will get to stay and who will have to leave the meeting?
I just want to thank you all for joining me this week. It's been really fun. Been a great week getting to know you all. But unfortunately, someone does have to leave. And the person leaving the Zoom call is going to be Becca.
Okay.
Feel like you have the moves it takes to go viral? Check out So You Think You Can TikTok. 7 contestants, 3 brutal judges, 1 grand prize. Get all of this content and more for just 4 monthly payments of $39.99. With content like this, you never have an excuse to be bored during quarantine.
Well, guys, that should be plenty of content to get you through this quarantine time. And, one thing I have been thinking, especially during all this free time, is how many different forms of entertainment we have. I mean, if you look, we have books, movies, TV shows. There's just so many options. For me, the main thing that I've been enjoying during quarantine are podcasts. As a medium, podcasts are just so versatile. You have podcasts literally about anything and nothing. Speaking of podcasts, I was talking to my good buddies, Brayden and Peter. The other day, we decided we'd start our own podcast. None of us could agree on what the topic should be, so we just Googled random subjects and talked about it. For our first topic, we talked about Jorge Sandor Ligeti, which turns out is actually a composer from the mid-20th century, and not a variation of spaghetti, as we'll later find out. But at the time, we had no idea. So here's a little clip of PB&J. We talk about a bunch of random topics and just random stuff. Podcast. Let's take a look.
To me personally, Ligeti helps to elucidate what I feel to be the realities of our culture today. His symphonies, the way they harmonize and overlap, it really just enlightens me in a deep spiritual level.
Ligeti's basically like a modern day Beethoven, somebody that people are looking up to, they're inspired by. The box offices, his symphonies, they're on repeat all over YouTube, over 250 million views in a day.
Do you think he is good enough to become, like the next TikTok trend? Like, is his work actually that excellent, or is he just going to be kind of like here today, gone tomorrow?
Well, spaghetti to me creates this feeling of malaise within, and it's something I think transcends the ignorance of TikTok. I feel young children and fools go onto TikTok.
Wait, real quick. You said spaghetti?
Yeah, spaghetti. And his music.
We're still talking about the composer Ligeti, correct?
Of course, yeah, that's what I said. Ligeti. I've been watching, it's called The Last Dance. It's about the Bulls. The Bulls back in the Michael Jordan days. And for me, that just settled it that Michael Jordan's the GOAT. A lot of people have been talking about Steph Curry, LeBron. After watching that, I don't think there's any debate to be had. Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
See, I have to jump in and I have to disagree. Look, the people today, you see LeBron James, you see the things he's doing, the statistics he's put in, the culture. He's really the face of basketball, I would say, at this point in time. I think if you look at any modern day basketball player, they're going to say, you know what, LeBron James is the GOAT. So I think this show, it does have a little bias. It does show you that Michael Jordan is a great player. But LeBron James, unarguably, if we're going one-on-one, you can just see the size of Michael Jordan in this video. He's playing 20, 30 years ago. He didn't have the science, he didn't have the technology, the trainers and the facilities that we have today. Who knows if he was playing today? But LeBron James, no question, in my opinion.
But the one person I think is just overlooked, and when we're talking about just like the face of the NBA, and maybe he's not the face, but I do think he's probably one of the best players to grace the court, is James Harden.
What? James Harden? He's fat. We'd like to just take a moment and thank our sponsor, the New Hall Aquarium, located conveniently off of Ark Street near Railroad Avenue. They offer family fun for all ages with incredibly limited hours of operation. They provide family fun at a hard-to-beat cost. They have been generous supporters of this endeavour from the very beginning, and we're thankful for their community partnership.
What are y'all's opinion on like the whole chicken and waffle trend that we saw kind of sweeping the nation a couple years back?
Chicken and waffles is a purely perfunctory dish, and just the notion that the two could somehow combine to create something beneficial to anyone is ridiculous. In the UK, that kind of nonsense would not be tolerated, and that's why I believe we are, the number one nation in the world today. Just unacceptable.
Hang on, I'm gonna kind of stop you there, because wasn't it the United Nations that started the whole trend of pineapple on pizza? You can't talk about perfunctory dishes. And
you took an Italian dish, one of the greatest creations of food creations of all time, and you spat on it. You put a piece of pineapple on it. Pineapples don't even originate in Scotland. You know where pineapples are from? United States.
Britain created the United States. We made you. And when you think about it, even the greatest, such as pizza, Adam needed Eve and pizza needed pineapple.
You're telling me chicken and waffles, which, I mean, has been a critically acclaimed dish. We see it like Lay's made chips that are waffle and chicken flavored. It's amazing what they're doing with this stuff. And you're gonna have the audacity to tell me that is an awful dish, but we're gonna say that pineapple and pizza is acceptable.
Not to mention, hey, I just bought chicken and waffles ice cream last night. Chicken and waffles ice cream.
Okay, I think we can all agree that's a terrible idea.
I don't know what Dr. Mackay's issue with the idea of chicken and waffles is. It might just be that, we might have a little bit of a European bias going on here. And I hate to bring in biases to podcasts. We're trying to give the people what they need to hear, but...
Well, throughout my time backpacking in Asia in the 90s, I found that while many things are of the same essence, perhaps the pineapple and the pizza do represent sweet and sour to you, and chicken and waffles may represent sweet and sour to another. They can be of a very different manifestation. And therefore, while they may originate the same, the result is very different.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that little segment. I'd like to extend a special thanks to Braden and Dr. Mackay, both for their contributions for their podcast. And Maddie?
Sorry. I was making sourdough.
Anyways, as I was saying, I hope you enjoyed that podcast, and please feel free to check us out anywhere where you consume your podcasts. We just checked. We're available on Spotify, Apple Music, Facebook Live, Zoom, Twitch, YouTube, Grace to You, SoundCloud, Sermon Direct, Subway, and of course, on your local FM radio stations. But hey, if podcasts really aren't your thing, our network, Masters Prime Plus, just has announced their sequel to our beloved... actually, guys, Maddie, do you mind? Can you play something a little bit... Give me a dramatic tone. Can we bring that camera in just a little bit closer? Ladies and gentlemen, last Christmas, audiences all across California were graced with the film presence of Christmas Hello, A Christmas Goodbye. And backed by popular demand from the studio that brought you such a film, with Oscar award-winning performances by Jake Gadoo and Olivia Simons. Prepare yourselves and please take a moment for A Quarantine Hello, A Quarantine Goodbye.
Last Christmas, Hannah was faced with a difficult choice: a fun-loving business major or the steady Bible major. After a whirlwind Christmas romance, Hannah and Jake have been happily dating for 3 months. However, in March, their relationship is tested by the novel coronavirus, COVID-19. Will they stick it out, or will this be Hezekiah's chance to say hello?
Hannah, I miss you so much. When is this quarantine gonna end? I just want to see you.
I know, Jake. I miss you too. I'm sorry this has to be this way, but for now we can just talk.
Yeah, well, honestly, this whole thing is so stupid. I'm pretty sure the virus is just made up. I think I'm just gonna come see you anyway.
No, Jake, you can't do that. It wouldn't be safe.
Safe? Hannah, that's ridiculous. I'm gonna drive out there. It'll be fine.
No, Jake, don't. You heard what the governor said. Shelter at home. You can't drive all the way out to Ohio.
Okay, I guess I see what this is about. You just don't want to see me.
Jake, that's ridiculous.
Whatever. I gotta go, Hannah.
Post by Hezekiah. Oh, a verse in the caption. First of all, then, I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all people, for kings and all who are in high positions, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified in every way. Aw, so true.
I just don't understand. Doesn't he realize how important it is to obey the law? I know he wants to see me, and I want to see him as well, but we're in the middle of a pandemic. Becca, what if he comes up here and gets sick? I would never be able to forgive myself. Why can't he just be more like Hezekiah?
Hezekiah? Hannah, have you been talking to him again?
No, he just posted something really encouraging on Instagram.
Interesting. Maybe you should give him a call and see how he's doing.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. Just thought.
Okay, well, I gotta go. I have class.
Okay, but just make sure to pray about it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hey Hezekiah, how are you?
Thanks, man. It's such a beautiful story. There's these complex characters, and none of these guys deserve her. It's just...
Josh, we have a show to do.
Oh, right. Well, anyways, for our next segment, we have single subject lines with Maddie Smith. All right, guys, for this segment, it's really simple. I will be reading a single subject line from our beloved Allison Perry, and Maddie over here will have to guess the contents of that email. You ready, Maddie? Perfect. Let's begin. All right, first up, your single subject line, Maddie, is Men Who Rock the World, Student Discount. What are your thoughts?
Men Who Rocked the World. Was that the Hotchkiss 2019 men's yearbook? No, don't tell me. It was, it had to do with Hotchkiss. It was the Hotchler, and it was, the Maine posted an article about how Johnny Naw was the highest bid Hotchler in 2019, and then they printed too many and were trying to sell out.
Well, not quite. Actually, they were just offering a $10 student discount to Steve Lawson's 4th annual men's conference, Men Who Rock the World. Next up, for your subject line, we have the Bible Department Talk, special guest lecture.
This one, if I remember correctly, this one was really helpful. It was a special guest lecture by the experts, Stephanie Beals and Amber Gifford, on how to calm down an overexcited Bible bro, based on their extensive expertise. It was really helpful.
Well, very close, but not quite. Actually, it was a special lecture on women in the biblical world, and the lecture was given by Dr. Mark Chavalis.
Interesting.
Very.
You know, I would have thought Kim Wilson would have given that lecture.
Okay, well, moving on. The next subject line is going to be Health Center, Health Watch.
Everyone got that email? Oh, I thought it had to do with the 52 nurses' notes I got last year for piano-related injuries. I thought I was special.
Oh, you are, Maddie. Just like the rest of the music majors. Well, I think my point has been made. But here's the next one, Listening sessions with our strategic planning consultant.
Okay, hang on.
Well, do you want a hint?
No, just give me a second.
All right.
Hold on. Okay, it was that, I know this one. It was one of the Choi boys did a TED Talk on how to improve your Smash Bros strategy. Something like,
Well, that would be very helpful, but actually it was simply a strategic planning consultant meeting. All right, Maddie, we got one more for you, so don't let us down. It simply reads, Notice, sidewalk closure.
Yes. Okay, I do know this one. Okay, so you know how Harry Walls commutes on his bike to work? Well, the week of all the board meetings, they didn't want him caught up in pedestrian congestion, so they closed the sidewalks to the pedestrians so he could have an exclusive sidewalk experience. Apparently, he got to his meetings in record time.
Man. Well, while that does sound about right, Maddie, actually the real reason for the email was, nope, actually, she's dead on. Well, thank you so much for playing, Maddie Smith, and we will be right back after this.
Hey there, Masters men. Did quarantine interrupt your 5-step plan to a ring by spring? Did you think you found your Proverbs 31 woman but weren't able to seal the deal? Were you waiting for that perfect moment and now despair of ever connecting with the one? Well, don't worry. Thanks to Edify, your virtual DTR assistant, you don't have to wait any longer. Hi. I'm Greg Gifford, CEO and founder of Edify. Edify has everything you need for a socially distant digital DTR fit for Ruth and Boaz. Worried your heart might not be in the right place? No problem. In the days leading up to your DTR, our marriage and family counseling certified assistants will provide you round-the-clock, scripture-based encouragement so you keep your heart focused on the right priorities. For the event itself, we use the information from our detailed compatibility questionnaire to help you select the perfect background to your DTR. Choose from places like the gazebo, benches on North Campus, under the oaks, and the stairs outside of Hotchkiss. Upgrade to our premium service to get exclusive access to coveted spots like the fireplace tables in Upper Calf, Swix and Lawn, or even the library couch. So don't let Corona get you down. Let Edify help you go from friend zone to end zone. And if your DTR goes well, look out for our new software coming soon, Elope. With wedding live stream services, exclusive blog posts from Desiring God about before God weddings, and virtual honeymoon destinations. Edify, a Stu subsidiary.
Maddie? Maddie, what's wrong? Like, what's with the sad vibes you're giving me?
Sorry. I was just thinking about Stu again. I mean, Edify sounds well and good for if you have someone to DTR with, but what if you've been ghosted by a glorified version of Siri?
Well, I mean, it's gonna be okay, Maddie. I heard the Scottish version of Siri is single.
Hey Siri, set a date.
Actually, I think that just might be Peter Mackay.
Peter
Yeah. Hey, but Maddie, on the bright side, maybe Edify, they'll start a dating app.
I mean, that sounds interesting. What would we call it? Christian Tinder?
I don't know, like, I like where we're headed, but that's a little kind of edgy for some people, don't you think?
Okay. What about, like, coffee meets bagel, but communion bread meets wine?
Ooh, I like that. But, I don't know, it's still... I'm getting these, like, kind of Catholic vibes that maybe we could iron out.
Dixon meets Waldock?
Oh, that's perfect.
We should really pitch this idea. I mean, there's totally a market for it. Not me, but, I personally know a lot of Dixon girls who need to find their ring by spring, and they are running out of time.
This is true, but, I mean, honestly, that goes for a lot of the female biblical counseling majors.
Yeah, that's a little too accurate.
It had to be said.
Hey, speaking of majors, how are the business majors handling quarantine?
Yeah, well, I, for one, have just recently purchased a majority share in my brother's closet, and on top of that, received a 25% equity investment from my mom.
Yeah, so lunch money.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that does remind me. We did interview a couple people on campus to see how they're doing school from home, and we recorded and have it here for you, so check it out.
When am I going to sell these turnips? These prices suck this week.
Is Christmas, if I say Christmas, is that a day or a season?
Oh.
Josh?
Yeah? What was the question?
Scene 1 alpha marker. Action. Cut. That's a wrap, everybody. Good job.
faith really means and how the Lord works through His Spirit to apply that to our lives.
Yeah. Thank you for Alethea. What a great woman of God. Thank you for Abby. Help her in her studies.
Cleo.
Dad, how long have you been in California?
Cleo, this is Colorado, and you've been here since March 20th.
March 20th. That's 35 days. The derivative of 35.
Math majors.
Good morning, class. I'm so glad you guys could all get here today. I know these times are a little weird, a little different. I've got a mask on for protection, but I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to be going over the Pythagorean theorem. And before we begin, I just wanted to see if you guys had any questions or comments or concerns that you'd like to share before we begin our lesson today.
So, because we don't have lab, we have to make do with what we have at home. We just got a little cups from the kitchen, and normally we'd have Bunsen burners, but instead I'm going to be using liquid gold. Little hand sanitizer. Get the flame going. See if that gets going. Alright. And then we place the rack over. Suspicious blue liquid. And of course, safety first. And then, 100 degrees, we add the fun stuff. And there it is. Yay!
Man, I have really loved getting to see some of these faces. And all the video suggestions that they've sent in, it really just reminds me of how much I miss these people. What are your thoughts, Maddie?
I miss everyone too. I was thinking about how some of my favorite memories from this year have to do with chapel. I got to be on chapel band this last year, and that was so special to be able to wake up early in the morning to be with some of my favorite people in the world, and then go to chapel and hear everyone worship the Lord at the top of their lungs. That was such a sweet blessing to me this year. And I felt like that attitude of worship went everywhere with us. Do you remember when there was the fire behind the dorms, and we went in EHC and had a hymn sing? I thought that was so special, and that's what I'm gonna miss.
Man. Honestly, getting the distinct privilege of being able to come back to campus for a little early to put on this show has been such a blessing. But it has reminded me, seeing campus like bare without the students, without the dorms filled with life and energy, it's reminded me of why I love Masters so much. Not necessarily the location, although it's beautiful out here in California, but it's the people that fill the halls and make the classrooms what they are, and all the profs. I think some of my favorite memories include just serving on ASB, getting to meet a bunch of new people that I may have never done life with. And honestly, getting to work with Mauricio and the rest of the cabinet has been such a blessing.
I think we should thank all the professors for all their hard work and dedication to the students here at Masters. Some of you have been working 12-hour days or more just trying to make online content possible for us. Others of you are making Zoom meetings with students to make sure someone's caring and reaching out for us, and that means a lot. Trust me, students, the professors don't have a lot of time on their hands right now, despite being in quarantine. Your professors have truly demonstrated what biblical servanthood looks like and displayed fragrant Christianity throughout this time. Yet we know that you professors are not doing it for the money or even for us students, but ultimately because you love God. And that your love for us pours out of your love for your God and for our God and your desire to honor him. It shows in its incredible example to us. So thank you so much. Despite everything going on, thank you for being a light and a source of stability.
On that same note, we'd also like to extend a very warm thank you to all the staff and other people around campus that have made this transition possible. I know this is something that no one can really plan for, but the way that they've adjusted to this crisis and really helped the students transition from on-campus to online has just been amazing. So again, thank you to the IT department and the academic team for making all this possible. But guys, honestly, it's hard to kind of just transition from something that seems kind of negative, but it's important to remember, I mean, honestly, how great this year has been. Just looking back at the fall semester and what we got to experience during the spring, we've had a great time here at Masters. So thank you guys for sending in your favorite videos and favorite moments from this year. I've worked hard to compile all this into a quick little video that we want to show you, just kind of recapping the year. Let's take a look. Wow, guys, it's honestly been such an incredible year. And listen, I know we're not all here together the way we all want to be, but we've got one last thing for you. So tonight, to give us one last final charge to wrap up this spring, please welcome Harry Walls.
Hello, Masters University, and happy Friday to you, and happy year-end show. Wow, year-end show. Hard to believe that we're at the end of the school year. What a crazy year. We started out with compelling Christianity, and we ended all with this kind of crazy reality. Who would have ever thought? But I do want you to know, as Mauricio said at the beginning, as a Christian community, we believe that this is a purposeful, providential reality, that it's designed by God to accomplish things that otherwise wouldn't get accomplished. And it's kind of like when Lazarus was sick. Jesus responded, "This sickness is for the glory of God." And this virus and this season is for the glory of God. And then he went on to say to his disciples, after Lazarus had died, "This is so that you might believe, so that your faith will grow." And then others who witness the outcome of this unique, providential, sovereignly defined season, that others who don't know will also believe. So I know you know that God's ruling, and we're desiring to be cooperative in all that's going on. And listen, it's not the same without you. I mean, we said it at the beginning, the campus is empty. And thank you to all of you. And I just want to add my expression of gratitude and my staff and the faculty and staff that helped us make that pivot and moving you off campus and how you cooperated in that short season. Listen, the dorms are nearly empty. Almost all of you have come back. Just a few of you haven't been able to. So thank you for that. Thanks for cooperating and making that possible. But listen, we miss you. It's not the same without you. And I want you to know it's not going to be the same when you get back. You can't believe all of the things that are happening. There's 34 projects going on at the Masters University. Things are changing. And just as a word of encouragement to those of you that are in the housing registration process, we're going to do student preference housing this year more than we have ever focused on your preference and your registration, your seniority, and those kinds of things. And the dorms are going to be different, at least Swayze and Dixon getting a facelift inside and out. I've been in those girls' dorms and more than I've ever been in the women's dorms over these last years. And I was in there today, and it's going to be amazing. So if you have student preference, and not you guys, but you girls, if you have student preference, that's a great place to be. The furniture will be like new. The bathrooms will be 4-star. The lighting, the paint, inside and out. The lounge will have a fireplace. It'll open up, walking out to a new deck and lights. And we'll have some spaces on the outside of Dixon where you can gather, all brand new things. Under the Oaks is having a major transformation this summer, kind of a covering, a fire pit, places for you to sit, places to plug in, just a lot of nice things. And also, too, and you'll appreciate this, I certainly do, there's going to be up and down lighting and so many of the trees around campus. So you know how some places are kind of dark and you go, I'm a little nervous as I'm making my way to the North Campus. Well, when you get back, you're going to taste not only the benefit of lighting for security, you're going to benefit from just the way it feels. Up and down, some of the trees will have lanterns in them, up to the Hotchkiss from the King Hall area, over to the cafeteria. You're just going to love what's going on in terms of the transformation. Classrooms updated, just so many wonderful, the library, it's just going to be exciting. So listen, when you come back, it's not going to be the same. I know you're not going to be the same, but it's going to be just exciting. We're looking forward to the fall. We're wide open in preparation. I know this year is ending uniquely, but the new year we're planning on beginning greatly. We've got graduation, which is going to be in the latter part of August, Wow Week, everybody coming back. Then we get to honor our seniors. Just going to be an awesome launch to an awesome year. And let me say to those of you that are seniors, not only will we see you in August, God willing, and I hope you can come. We've got a lot of good things planned for you. But you may not get to live in those newly renovated dorms. You may not get to experience all of the ambiance and the changes. And it's already a beautiful campus. But it's just going to be extra special this coming year. But you're always a Mustang. And you're always welcome. And I promise you, when you come back as an alumnus of the Masters University, we want to treat you like a VIP. And I mean that sincerely. So please come see us. You're always a part of us. And we're just excited for what God has done in you during these years we've had together. And we look forward to seeing what God will do through you in the years before you. So let me say this last thing kind of as an encouragement to you as your campus pastor. We did start the year in compelling Christianity. We talked about being the kind of Christian that would make a non-Christian think about becoming one. Having the kind of fragrant humility that says, you go first. You're more important than me. Then to have the kind of Christian charity, the kind of undeniable Good Samaritan charity that says, you go first at my expense. You have a need, I want to meet that need. You communicate compelling Christianity when you display a kind of integrity that says, you know what, I can trust him or her. They're honorable, they're noble, and they're believable. And then finally, we spent a lot of the year talking about biblical clarity. Listen, not personal or popular opinion, but really biblical conviction. And I'm praying that as you journey through this last part of the semester, this big final week, as you establish your influence in places of interaction over the summer, you'll not only be, I believe the truth, but I want to live the truth, Christianity. I want to express it. There's a verse I want to leave you with that kind of fits that compelling Christianity theme. This is Jesus. This is familiar real estate. This is the Gospels. And he said something as a part of his kingdom conviction, his kingdom reality. If you're in my kingdom, you need to know this. And this is my encouragement to you. You are the salt of the earth. You are a preservative. You're a purifier. Your very presence in the world in which you live, whether it's in your home or neighborhood, hopefully somewhere in the community as you get out, you're a purifier and an influencer. You're to make what isn't so good better because of your presence, because of the compelling expression of Christian love, Christian integrity, Christian humility. You're not only a preserver and a purifier, you're an enhancer. Salt is a seasoning. You're meant, because you're there, because people interact with you, because you behave as a kingdom Christian would, you make everything taste better. Every activity, every conversation, you make it richer, you make it better. You are the salt of the earth. You make life taste better. You preserve and you enhance. And finally, you know what salt does? It promotes thirst. It creates a thirst for something that you need for life. And as a Christian, as the salt of the earth, your Christianity ought to be so compelling that people get thirsty for the water of life, our Master, your Savior, Jesus Christ. So I want to encourage you. You are the salt of the earth. Live as a compelling Christian, not just because you're on campus, not because you're at the Masters University, but because you love and represent the Master. And the last thing that Jesus said, he said, don't lose your savor. Don't lose your savor. And that's how I want to encourage you at the end. Don't lose your savor. He deserves it. The Master does. He desires it. The Master does. The world needs it. And the Masters University student, you were trained for it. Let God use you to the end that the Master is elevated. People are thirsty for him because they live and engage with you. Listen, we love you. We're proud of you. And I'm telling you, we miss you. So God bless you, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you. Let me lead us in prayer and just commit you all to the Lord, kind of wrapping up before I pitch back to Josh. Father, I thank you tonight for the opportunity we have had in this virtual way to re-engage. Thank you for the team that has worked so hard to produce this. Thank you for all of the teammates at the university, faculty and staff that are continuing to engage and influence. And Lord, thank you for the students, both here in front of me and all over the globe, that are part of the Masters family. We are grateful for them. We commit them to you, and it's our collective prayer. It's my prayer that, Lord, they would be the salt of the earth, that they would be compellingly Christian, not just in word, but in the way they live, the way they walk, the way they love, and the way they give. Lord, the world is needy. Help us to make them thirsty because of what we say and do. Lord, I ask this in the honor of the Master, our Savior, Jesus Christ the righteous. Amen. Josh?
Honestly, thank you so much, Harry. What a wonderful charge to leave us off on the rest of the semester. It's only a couple more days left. And, well, you guys, tonight has been a lot of fun, and we have enjoyed this so much. But real quick, before we go, we do have a couple special shout-outs for you guys. As you know, this is a live show, so there's a little bit of audience interaction. So there's two people we want to shout out real quick. The first one is Caleb Walsh. We'd like to thank you so much for being, let's just say, overly committed to this whole process. We love you a lot. And then also Dr. Eichmeyer for being the best prof in the chat. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. A big shout out to Steven and his team at Campus Productions, everyone at Student Activities. And I honestly, guys, once again, just you guys for watching. We love you all so much, and we hope you'll see you real soon. Good night, everybody.